The impossible has finally happened. After years of heartbreak, rumors, and endless fan theories, whispers have now turned into confirmation. Ty Borden is returning to Heartland in Season 19. Yes, the character who defined love, resilience, and hope for millions of fans is set to reappear, and the entire Heartland community is buzzing with excitement. But how is this even possible? Ty's tragic death in Season 14 left viewers devastated, and his absence reshaped the show in unimaginable ways. Now, with official word spreading like wildfire, fans are left asking, is this a dream sequence, a flashback, or a miraculous twist that no one saw coming? Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. Heartland Season 19 is about to become the most unforgettable chapter in the show's history. For nearly 2 decades, Heartland has been more than just a family drama. It has been a source of comfort, healing, and inspiration. Since its debut in 2007, the series has walked hand in hand with its audience, showing them the triumphs and tragedies of life through the eyes of the Fleming Bartlett family. At the very center of it all was Ty Borden, played by Graham Wardle, who wasn't just a character, but the heart and soul of the show. Ty's love story with Amy Fleming became the emotional backbone of Heartland, a narrative of 2 people who grew from youthful strangers into soulmates, raising a family while facing life's toughest challenges together. That's why his death in Season 14 wasn't just another plot twist. It was a heartbreak that sent shockwaves through the entire fan community. For years, audiences have struggled to imagine Heartland without Ty. His presence wasn't limited to his relationship with Amy. He symbolized second chances, growth, and redemption. Viewers watched as Ty transformed from a troubled teenager into a loving husband, devoted father, and skilled horseman. His loss left behind a silence that the show has tried to fill with new stories of resilience, especially through Amy and her daughter, Lindy. And though the show continued to thrive, many fans confessed that something vital was missing. That magic, that warmth, that steady heartbeat named Ty. Now, the news of his return has sparked a frenzy unlike anything Heartland has seen before. Social media platforms are ablaze with speculation. Fans are posting theories, rewatching past episodes for hidden clues, and debating how the writers could possibly reintroduce a character whose death seemed so final. Some insist it will be through dream sequences, perhaps to guide Amy or Lindy during a critical moment in their lives. Others believe flashbacks will allow audiences to revisit the depth of Ty and Amy's bond, reminding everyone that true love never really dies. But then there are those daring to hope for something bigger, something shocking that rewrites the story entirely. What makes this revelation even more gripping is the secrecy surrounding it. The production team has remained tight-lipped, refusing to confirm the exact nature of Ty's return. Amber Marshall herself, who plays Amy, has spoken carefully in interviews, acknowledging the emotional weight of Ty's story while dropping subtle hints that Season 19 will hold surprises no one expects. This delicate dance between confirmation and mystery has only fueled the suspense. Heartland has always excelled at weaving emotion with surprise, and fans are convinced that this return will be no exception. The excitement isn't just about seeing Ty again, it's about what his reappearance means for the show's legacy. For years, fans have carried the pain of his absence, feeling that his journey ended too soon. His return, in whatever form it takes, offers the chance for closure, healing, and perhaps even new beginnings. It reminds audiences why they fell in love with Heartland in the first place. Its ability to mirror real emotions while giving hope that even after the darkest storms, light can return. Season 19 has already been confirmed as a pivotal chapter, but with Ty's return now in the mix, it feels destined to become historic. Viewers are counting down the days, speculating not only about how he will appear, but also about how his presence will change the lives of those he left behind. Will Amy finally find peace knowing Ty is still a part of her journey? Will Lindy feel closer to the father she barely knew? Or will his return open up more questions than answers, pushing the story into uncharted territory? One thing is undeniable. This is no longer just another season. This is the season that fans will remember forever. As the buzz surrounding Ty's return intensifies, fans cannot help but revisit the heartbreak of Season 14. That moment when Amy's life was shattered, when the man she thought she would grow old with slipped away after a sudden complication from his gunshot wound, has remained etched in the memory of every Heartland viewer. The scene was raw, painful, and deeply human. For many, it was more than fiction. It felt like losing a dear friend. Viewers cried with Amy, grieved with the Fleming Bartlett family, and questioned how the series could possibly move forward. Yet, against all odds, Heartland endured, transforming itself into a narrative of resilience, with Amy carrying Ty's legacy while raising their daughter, Lindy. But now, everything has changed. The announcement of Ty's reappearance has reopened old wounds, but it has also sparked a wildfire of hope. Could this be a chance for Amy to finally find closure? Or is it the writer's way of reigniting that emotional spark which defined the show for so long? The very mystery of how Ty returns, whether in spirit, memory, or something far more extraordinary, is what makes this development so electrifying. After all, Heartland has never shied away from blending realism with emotional depth, crafting moments that feel both grounded and magical at the same time. Speculation has reached a fever pitch. Some fans are convinced that Ty will return through flashbacks, giving audiences a chance to relive the most powerful chapters of his story. These moments could serve as lessons for Amy and Lindy, reminding them of his wisdom and values. Others believe dream sequences will play a role, allowing Ty to appear in Amy's subconscious during her struggles, guiding her in ways only he can. Then, there are the more daring theories, ones that suggest Ty may not have died after all, that perhaps a shocking twist has been waiting in the wings, ready to stun the world. While this seems unlikely, it's the kind of speculation that keeps viewers glued to every rumor, every leaked hint, and every cryptic statement from the cast. One cannot ignore the emotional weight this places on Amy's character. Since Ty's departure, Amy has carried the story on her shoulders, portraying the struggles of a widow and single mother with authenticity that resonates deeply with audiences. Her healing journey became the very heartbeat of the show. Now, with Ty's return looming, her path is set to take another dramatic turn. Will this reappearance bring her peace, or will it reopen scars she has worked so hard to heal? For Amy, the possibility of seeing Ty again, whether in a vision, memory, or otherwise, means confronting the love of her life once more. And for fans, it means witnessing the raw, unfiltered emotions that Amber Marshall has always delivered so powerfully. Meanwhile, the impact of Ty's return extends far beyond Amy. Lindy, the daughter who never truly had the chance to know her father, stands at the center of this storyline. For her, even a glimpse of Ty, through old footage, dreams, or flashbacks, would be life-changing. It would give her a sense of connection to the man who sacrificed everything for her and her mother. This potential bond is one of the most anticipated aspects of Season 19, as fans yearn to see how Ty's presence will shape Lindy's journey of growth and identity. Will she inherit not just Amy's strength, but also Ty's courage and compassion? Then there is the rest of the Fleming Bartlett family, each of whom shared their own unique bond with Ty. Jack, who treated Ty like a son, will undoubtedly feel the emotional impact of his reappearance. Tim, who often clashed with Ty yet respected him deeply, may face his own reckoning. Lou, with her role as both sister-in-law and family leader, will also be affected by this shift. Heartland has always been about family as much as it has been about love, and Ty's return promises to stir emotions across every corner of the ranch. Adding to the suspense is the fact that Graham Wardle himself has remained largely silent. After leaving the show in Season 14 to pursue other projects, his decision was final, or so fans thought. His limited interviews since then have focused on his creative pursuits beyond acting. But now, with confirmation of his reappearance, audiences are left wondering what changed. Did Wardle decide that Heartland's story needed him one last time, or was this always part of a bigger plan, carefully hidden to protect the emotional integrity of the series? The uncertainty surrounding his involvement only deepens the intrigue, making Season 19 feel like a puzzle fans cannot wait to piece together. The stakes have never been higher. With Season 19 set to premiere on October 15, 2025, the clock is ticking and fans are counting down the days. This is not just another season. It is a cultural moment, a reunion that millions thought they would never see. The return of Ty Borden has transformed the conversation around Heartland, uniting fans across the globe in anticipation, speculation, and pure excitement. Whether his reappearance brings closure, healing, or shocking revelations, one truth is, clear. Heartland has once again captured the world's imagination, reminding us why this series continues to endure nearly 2 decades after it began. The frenzy over Ty's return isn't just about nostalgia, it's about the emotional storm that it will unleash. Fans who have followed Heartland for years know that this show doesn't simply bring characters back without purpose. Every moment is carefully woven, every storyline designed to test the strength of the Fleming-Bartlett family. That is why Ty's reappearance is so powerful. It's not just about seeing a beloved character again, it's about how his presence will ripple through the lives of those he left behind. Amy's journey since Ty's death has been one of the most profound arcs in Heartland's history. We've watched her transform from a grieving widow into a resilient mother, carrying on Ty's legacy while finding her own way in a world that felt emptier without him. Now, the return of Ty, even in a limited or symbolic form, will shake the very foundation of that growth. For Amy, it won't be easy. His presence could bring comfort, reminding her that true love never dies. But it could also reopen wounds, forcing her to confront emotions she has tried to keep buried. Viewers are bracing themselves for scenes of raw vulnerability, the kind that Heartland does better than almost any show on television. And then there's Lindy. For a child who never fully knew her father, the opportunity to connect with Ty in any form will be a turning point in her story. Imagine the emotional depth of a moment where Lindy sees her father in a flashback or dream, learning from his words and actions, even though he is no longer alive. Such moments will not only deepen her bond with Amy, but also tie her more closely to the legacy that Ty left behind. Lindy is growing fast, and fans are eager to see how Ty's influence will shape her future, perhaps guiding her down a path that reflects both her parents' strength and compassion. The other members of the family are not untouched by this storm either. Jack, the patriarch of Heartland, always treated Ty like the grandson he never had. His grief in season 14 was heartbreaking, and the possibility of seeing Ty again, even in memory, will no doubt stir emotions in him that he has worked hard to contain. For Jack, Ty's return is not just about family, it is about legacy, about the generations that carry on the values of loyalty, resilience, and love. Tim, meanwhile, has always been a complicated figure in Ty's life. Their relationship was rocky at times, but underneath it all, Tim respected Ty's determination and his devotion to Amy. How will he react to this sudden reappearance? Will it bring peace to his guilt and regrets? Or will it remind him of everything that was lost? Lou, as both sister-in-law and family leader, will also feel the ripple effects. Her role as the steady hand of the family will be tested once again as she helps those around her process this emotional whirlwind. But beyond the characters, the return of Ty is also about the fans. For years, viewers have carried the heartbreak of his absence, with many saying they struggled to keep watching without him. And yet, they stayed. Because Heartland has always been about more than one person. It has been about the resilience of a family, the beauty of second chances, and the unbreakable bond between humans and animals. Still, the truth is clear. Fans never stopped longing for Ty. His return, then, feels like a gift, an acknowledgement of their loyalty, their grief, and their unwavering hope. What makes this even more fascinating is the air of secrecy around the production. The Heartland team has always guarded its storylines carefully, but this time, the silence is deafening. Every cast interview, every teaser, every subtle hint has been dissected by fans desperate for answers. Amber Marshall, who carries Amy's story with such authenticity, has carefully avoided giving too much away, though she has admitted that season 19 will hold surprises that will leave fans stunned. Graham Wardle himself has been even more elusive, refusing to reveal how much he will be involved or in what capacity Ty will appear. This silence only fuels the speculation, making the anticipation unbearable in the best possible way. One thing, however, is certain. Ty's return will redefine season 19. Whether it comes in the form of flashbacks, dreams, or something unexpected, his presence will add emotional depth to a season already destined to be unforgettable. It will test Amy's resilience, give Lindy a connection she has long deserved, and remind the entire family of the love that once bound them together. For the fans, it will be a moment of catharsis, a reminder that even after heartbreak, stories can still find a way to bring hope. The countdown to October 15th, 2025 feels heavier now. With every day that passes, the questions grow louder. How will Tai appear? What will it mean for Amy's future? And most of all, can Heartland possibly deliver on the weight of this promise? After nearly 2 decades of storytelling, the show has earned its reputation for balancing realism with heart. If any series can pull off a return like this, it is Heartland. And for the millions who have waited, hoped, and dreamed of this day, the answer is simple. Season 19 is no longer just another season. It is the season of Ty Borden's return, the moment fans will never forget. The return of Ty Borden is more than just a plot development. It is a turning point that could redefine everything Heartland stands for. Fans are not simply waiting to see how Ty will appear. They are waiting to see why. What purpose will his reappearance serve in the larger story? Heartland has never been about cheap twists or shock value. Every emotional beat, every heartbreak, every triumph has been carefully crafted to honor the characters and the audience. That is why this moment feels so monumental. It is not just a surprise, it is a promise that the story still has more to say. For Amy Fleming, this season could be the most emotionally demanding chapter of her life. For years, she has carried Ty's absence as both a wound and a source of strength. His memory pushed her to rise above grief, to find her voice as a single mother, and to raise Lindy with the same values she and Ty once shared. But what happens when that memory becomes flesh again, even briefly? Will Amy find the closure she has long searched for, or will she be thrust back into the storm of loss, forced to relive the heartbreak all over again? The beauty of Heartland lies in its ability to portray these human struggles with raw honesty, and fans know that Amy's journey will not be simple. Lindy's arc is equally critical. She is the living embodiment of Ty's legacy, the child who carries his blood, his spirit, and perhaps even his passion for horses. Up until now, her story has been about growing up without her father, guided by Amy and the larger Heartland. Family. Ty's return could give Lindy something she has never truly had, a moment of connection with her dad. Even if it comes through dreams or flashbacks, the emotional weight of such a scene would be staggering. Fans are already imagining the possibilities. Lindy hearing Ty's voice, Lindy learning from his wisdom, or even Lindy riding with Amy while remembering stories about him. These moments could cement her place as the bridge between past and future, carrying the flame of both her parents' legacies. Meanwhile, the broader family dynamics will be shaken once again. Jack, who once told Ty that he was like a son to him, will feel the echo of that bond in ways only he can. His wisdom has often been the glue holding everyone together, but Ty's reappearance could stir emotions Jack has worked hard to keep. Buried. Tim, too, will face his share of reckoning. His complicated relationship with Ty was marked by both conflict and respect, and a reappearance may reignite those memories. Lou, as always, will step in to hold the family steady, but she too will feel the ripple effect of a presence that shaped so much of her sister's life. Heartland thrives on showing how individual journeys intertwine with family ties and ties. Return will test those bonds like never before. Then there's the audience. For years, viewers have carried the burden of Ty's absence, continuing to support the show while quietly longing for the impossible. His return, in any form, feels like a gift, a way of acknowledging their loyalty and pain. It is a reminder that stories can evolve, that characters can live on, and that even the darkest endings can hold unexpected light. The excitement is not just about seeing Ty again, it is about the hope that comes with his presence, the healing it can bring to both characters and fans. The secrecy around this storyline has only heightened the anticipation. The cast and crew have remained tight-lipped, dropping hints without ever revealing the full truth. Amber Marshall has hinted at surprises that will leave audiences stunned, while Graham Wardle's silence has only added to the mystery. Will he return for just one episode, or will his presence linger throughout the season? Will his reappearance be a symbolic goodbye, or could it be the beginning of something even bigger? These unanswered questions keep fans on edge, ensuring that Season 19 will be one of the most talked about chapters in television this year. As October 15, 2025 draws closer, the buzz has reached fever pitch. Fans across the globe are counting down the days, revisiting old episodes, and debating theories online. Social media has become a whirlwind of speculation, with every detail from the trailers and interviews being dissected for hidden clues. Heartland has always been a show that connects deeply with its audience, and now that bond feels stronger than ever. Ty's return is not just a narrative twist, it is a cultural moment, uniting millions of fans in a shared anticipation that transcends borders and generations. Ultimately, Ty's reappearance reminds us why Heartland has endured for nearly 2 decades. It is not just about horses, or ranch life, or even romance. It is about the power of love, the strength of family, and the resilience of the human spirit. Ty's return captures all of that in one breathtaking revelation, proving that no matter how much time passes, some bonds are too strong to break. Season 19 is no longer simply the continuation of a beloved series. It is the chapter that fans will talk about for years to come, the season where heartbreak turns to hope, and where the impossible becomes reality. And now, as the whispers grow louder and the excitement spreads like wildfire, one thing is clear: Heartland Season 19 is no longer just another chapter, it is the season that fans have been waiting for. Ty's return has turned the quiet anticipation into a storm of emotions, a frenzy that unites old viewers and new ones in the same heartbeat. It feels like the past and present are colliding, creating a future that promises both closure and new beginnings. But as we look ahead, questions remain. How will Amy's journey shift now that Ty is back by her side? How will their daughter's story unfold in the shadow of her parents' legendary bond? And most importantly, what new trials will Heartland throw at this family, testing their love, loyalty, and resilience once again? Fans everywhere are buzzing, and social media is ablaze with theories, debates, and joyful disbelief. This is not just a comeback, it is a reminder of why Heartland has touched millions of lives for nearly 2 decades. Ty and Amy's story has always been about love that survives the storm, and now that love returns to center stage. So hold on tight, because what lies ahead is not just a season, but an unforgettable journey back to the heart of Heartland.